With the 2025 NFL Combine now in the rearview mirror, we've gotten a good look at some of the rising stars in this year's NFL Draft. One of those players is Tyler Shough, quarterback out of Louisville. Tyler has been a bit of a journeyman throughout his entire time in college, never able to solidify himself as a true starting quarterback. He'd take over for Justin Herbert in a COVID-shortened 2020 season, but his play was seen as subpar and was unable to establish himself as a long-term option for the Ducks, entering the transfer portal and committing to Texas Tech. He wouldn't be a reliable option for the Red Raiders, with his play on the field still being subpar and injuries playing a key role, causing him to miss 18 games over his 3 seasons with the team and never playing a full season. As he entered his final year of eligibility, he'd transfer once again, this time to Louisville. He'd enter the season as the Cardinals' starting quarterback and would have his best season by far. He'd record 3,195 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions on a 63% completion percentage. And after his solid final year, he'd sit out the Sun Bowl and would declare for the 2025 NFL Draft. While a lot of people may think that only 1 year of consistent production would be a bad thing, Tyler couldn't have done it at a better time. He absolutely balled out at Louisville, having a career best in touchdown to interception ratio, and did so without having to sacrifice going against higher level of competition. He's shown a good ability for pre-snap recognition, able to read defensive schemes quickly, possibly helped by his experience in both pro-style and spread offenses in college. He has a very fluid and quick release motion when throwing, leaving little to chance for a defender to make a play with the ball in his hands. He's shown a good ability to make throws at all 3 levels and shows very little effort in doing so, and is able to throw at many different angles while maintaining his accuracy to be able to make the completion. His ability to place the ball in front of his receiver and away from a defender also makes Tyler reliable when it comes to his touch passes, favoring a deep shot when there. And possibly the best thing about Tyler is he isn't a statue. He's shown willingness to use his legs if a throw isn't there and has excellent pocket movement to avoid pressure. As shown in his draft interviews and time in college, Tyler has shown great maturity, which, when paired with his polished traits, could propel him as the number 3 or 4 quarterback in this year's draft. While Tyler has shown his good pocket awareness, that doesn't mean he excels under pressure. When pressured, his throwing mechanics seem to break down, with his foot movement suffering and causing him to sail his passes if he's unable to set his feet. While that doesn't mean he can't make off-platform throws, he isn't reliable at it, as shown by his near 30-point completion percentage drop when pressured. He also struggles with his decision-making when pressured, seemingly looking to get the ball out quickly rather than standing in and trying to make the best throw. A lot of Tyler's game film also show a glaring issue in his reads, or rather lack thereof. He tends to lock onto his primary target way too long, which can cause his second and third reads to break down, pointing to an issue with post-snap processing. Another very big concern is his durability, missing a lot of time in college and only playing 42 games throughout his 7-year college career. He missed a lot of that time with Texas Tech, breaking his collarbone in 2 straight years and a broken fibula in his final year. And while some people may say his age points to his experience, with Tyler already being 25 years old, it leaves him with very little time to fix the clear issues he has with his game. Tyler is definitely a feel-good story, but as a lot of his former teams' fan bases will tell you, he's been fairly inconsistent throughout his collegiate career. I'd be a little worried about his only year with solid play and good health being his last year, and I'd wonder if he can really sustain himself at the next level. I typically don't like to talk about age in a negative aspect for prospects, but Tyler's a bit different when you pair it with his relatively low amount of play during his college career. But he did have a very good NFL Combine and outperformed a lot of the quarterbacks there, which will inevitably raise his draft stock quite considerably. But I, for one, am not completely convinced that he could be your number 1 in the NFL. Of course, I could be completely wrong, and regardless, I'm going to list him as a 3rd-round selection, and possibly higher if a team becomes desperate for a quarterback. Tyler really isn't the kind of rookie that you want sitting for long given his age, but I believe that a team in need will come calling, possibly sooner than I expect.